Yeah. There we go. We can get to talking. We have some smoked sausage on that thing too. I cut up a couple of these little bad boys. That woman, she's in Ohio, and man, I kid you not, she calls every morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. First thing in the morning, 9 o'clock. And then if she don't get you by then, she's shit ringing the hell out of that phone all day long. And apparently Angela didn't talk to her this morning or something, I don't know. She called late. Let me get my long johns out of the way, by the way. But, yeah, no joke. I mean, that's never in my life seen anything like that before. But that's all right. I mean, they've been best friends. But she had a place where she was living in an apartment or something like that. I can't remember right offhand. But her neighbors used to come over and, man, eat her out of house and home and then go back home. And then also they like borrow the money, but then go back home. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, don't they have a job? Don't they have family? Don't they have somebody besides you? And it ended up turning out that the girl was ripped her off big time, stole a bunch of jewelry and stuff, you know. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. So she moved off into this other house and got away from them, and she just told me that some kids out playing around. I mean, you know, you got to do a little adult supervision and all that kind of stuff sometimes with these kids. I mean, that's just all there is to it. You just don't let them roam and go out. Well, they went in there and got the BB gun and went outside and shot out her husband's windows. No joke, that sounds just like Michael, my son. Him and little David, which was his cousin, brother-in-law's son. I couldn't stand him. Out there underneath my truck, just driving nails up into my dump truck, my tires on my dump truck. Man, I like shit. I walked out there and found her. I drugged their ass out and I whooped the shit out of them. I didn't kill them. I instilled the fear of God in them, though. They sure enough was worried, because the first thing I'm going to do is just scare them to death. Yeah, and that was going out there and picking the biggest tree I could get out of the ground, just to snatch it out, which I had a bunch of scamosas and everything laying around there. Take one good pop, boy, they're done. Ah! That's crazy. Michael, he's still in prison. He burned my house down, but that's not why he went to prison. I mean, I had to kick that boy out, and then I let him back, and then I had to kick him out. Well, first I had to put him in boot camp, and I did that twice. The first time, man, he loved it. No joke. He liked having somebody screaming it down his throat, and they said that he was perfect there. And I'm like, wow, you've got to be kidding me. What in the world? And right after that, I had a social worker come to my house every damn day and tried to get him to go places, because that's what a social worker does, or whatever, you know. And he wouldn't go anywhere. And finally, the social worker just quit coming. He just said, you know, this is futile. I mean, he was going to buy him tennis shoes and all kinds of shit like that, you know, take him out to movies. Hey, just because the guy was black, I mean, he could have went and had some fun. But Michael's whole key was to terrorize me and make things really difficult on him. Yeah. And, well, right after that, I ended up having to send him back to boot camp again. And he excelled and did real great in there. And then when he come out, you know, I let him stay at the house, but he was into crystal meth, Oxycontin. Boy, that was really something else there now. He was wild, and I just had to kick him out and get rid of him. I told you, you gotta go. And he was 16, 17 at the time, because everybody else is saying, oh, don't do that. And I said, well, let him come live with y'all. And that's exactly what happened. Was is he went and stayed with his grandmother. She kicked him out, couldn't stand it no more. Then he went and stayed with his aunt. She kicked him out, couldn't stand it anymore. And what he did was he started burglarizing, and he was already doing this shit because he done stole a bunch of my tools and everything, went and sold, pawned them. That's where this crack, crystal meth, and all that core shit came in to play, and how I found out. But he got busted. He was kicking in doors just like my brother and them, because hell, my brother bragged about that shit. I'm like, well, you're an asshole. Get away from us. And no joke, I never let my brother around my family. I wouldn't let him come back around no more, because he taught, and kids think and see this kind of shit, you know. And he's part of the problem. So Michael, and he's also burglarizing cars, you know, and stealing stereos and shit like that. Well, one night they go out and do whatever it is they're doing, and they got high in the car with all this shit in the car and pulled down the railroad tracks, down the side of the railroad tracks. Of course, you know, the cops, they got to go patrol. They look up and down them damn railroad tracks, you know, with their spotlight, because that's what they do. And there they were. They weren't even 20 yards down it. And they were passed out in the car. And of course, he's shining his light in there and sees Michael in the back seat, got stereos all over him and everything. And well, that's the first time he went to jail. And I got him out. I went and I got Michael out from that shit. I said, son, this is your one time and your one time only get out of jail free card. You better use it and enjoy what I've done for you. Well, man, it wasn't even 2 or 3 weeks later, he done kicked in the door on his friend's house, his best buddies, which was, them boys was like my kid, because they used to come over and stay with me all the time and hang out with the boys. You know, they were like family. Stole a bunch of checks from them, from their dad, and then stole a gun. Well, I definitely wouldn't let him come back around then, because I done had too many problems with him, and I'm not fooling with him no more. So those people had him arrested and thrown in jail. And he still denies the thing of the gun, and he spent now, well, he was in there a good 2 years before me and my ex separated and divorced. And he's still in there, and I've been divorced and separated 2006. 6. He's been in there 8 years, and they gave him this thing. It was 10-20 split, and he did real good when he's in there. And they put him in a halfway house, and first thing you know, man, he's out. They busted him smoking pot, got pot, brought it home to his halfway house where he was at. Had to stay. You know, you gotta go stay somewhere. Instantly right back in there again. Can't keep his nose clean. And I just wouldn't let him come back around no more. That's that gun, because he done burned my house down. I know it was Michael that burned the house down. And tried like hell to get Alabama Power and Ashland to pay off, because they're the ones that started the fire on the mountain. Yeah. And his grandmother screaming in the background, just let it all burn, you'll get all brand new shit, trust me, they'll buy you new stuff. No, fuck, man, I got screwed. What it is, mother-in-law screwed the hell out of us. We didn't get a dime. No, I lost a vending business that I started with my ex's aunt. She loved me to death. Boy, that woman, truck driver, she loved me to death. I'd go move Coke machines for her. Now, I had a little old narrow ass, but I'd move that Coke machine by myself. Load it on the truck, take it off the truck. Ooh, Lord, that's work. It sure was. I'm not talking about going and loading them with coal, because I'm talking about moving them from one place to another, because that route, it didn't last long, because those people weren't happy with the service that the other person that sold us the route and the machines too. So we had to pull the machine, and that was on that one. Yeah, we lost a lot of shit. He was just like a whole. He loosened up lug nuts on my fucking car. My little Dodge, no, it was a Plymouth. Oh shit, I can't remember. I had two of them. I'm bad about buying something and having two or three of that, because it's parts is the way I look at it. I don't have to go buy parts every time I turn around. But loosen them up, boy. I was hauling ass to work. 5 o'clock in the morning, headed across town, and man, that car it started coming apart. Yeah, that was crazy. Barely made it to work, and then, man, we did everything in the world I could. I worked and did everything in the world I could to try to fix that thing to get back home. I sure did. Madder than hell. It's just like a little nightmare. I'm not kidding. For some reason, he had to have attention, and a lot of these kids are like, well, if you don't give them attention or anything like that, pay them some attention or give them supervision, boom, they gonna do what they want, and you're doomed. I mean, I think that was because of his grandmother and his dad and everybody. Nobody wanted him to even come over, visit. I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible. He wrote me after about a year. That was it. I ain't heard a word out of him. He said he was getting out in 2 weeks. That was like, about the same time. It was right when I got all my information on the oil wells and everything. So, yeah, my brother over there running his mouth trying to get me to be back with that woman again. That ain't happening. Look, once you split and separate, ooh, it's done. He said, this for me. I don't need to go back and relive the same shit I went through. Yeah. But his thing is he's never raised a child, and he's thinking, well, those are your kids. You need to be taking care of them. I'm like, well, I did. I took care of another man's child. I didn't take care of my children because I don't have them. Unlike you and the rest, your brother, I'm sterile. There ain't nothing wrong with the equipment though, trust me. Works just fine. Up and down, no problem. Yeah, and that was from living on a farm, man. I got bailed up in a hay baler and stuck. Granddad died trying to get me out of that thing. I mean, it scared him. I was headed for the screw, the auger. Damn, Granddad. That was my dad. Granddad was my dad, believe it or not. I mean, that's sort of like a hard thing to say, but it's not for me, because Granddad was my dad and grandmother was my mother. Because I only knew my mother for 3 years, and that was it. That's all I knew of her, really. And that was me going to stay with her. And, well, that's where I got to go to Catholic school and get all kind of cool-ass schooling I didn't really need to know. And found out that religion has done nothing but kill and torture people. So, hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, mass murders, all in the name of God, and that's really not something I'm down for. Yep, and they're paying for it now. That's what happening with the Pope. And the other Pope, he's gonna get it too. Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. That's gonna be the fixings for the pizza when it gets here. If it gets here, we got onions, smoked sausage, some other onions, and well, of course, damn, what the hell was that? Oh, that's celery, mushrooms, and bell pepper. The big stuff. You know what I mean? All right, I need to put this up. I got two kinds of this. The hot, I really like the hot. Anything really hot, that's me. Well, I like it. And we also got us some bananas, oranges, and strawberries, and all kind of cool stuff. Mostly that's for my milkshake that I have to drink. Yep, that'll make it taste a little better, and it's all good. Peace. Y'all enjoy. I'll see y'all later.